Good afternoon and welcome to Spar Ground, Shotley Bridge here. My name is Matthew Erskine and I've joined you from this fifth match for these two clubs, Shotley Bridge versus Tynedale, and we've got Shotley Bridge batting in the first innings here, 70 for 1 after 18 overs, and as you join me here, we've got a drinks break just in progress. Well, it's just coming to an end, the first drinks break of this innings after 17 overs. So 70 for 1 Shotley Bridge. The batsman at the wicket at the moment are Milburn, he's 33 not out, and Greenwell 15 not out. The man out was Patterson, he went for 12 in the 5th over, and the wicket fell to Sam Peter. A bit unexpected it was. He'd been hit for 1 or 2 boundaries earlier before, but he banged one in short and a miscued pull shot went straight to Dag at mid-wicket. He was quite close in at mid-wicket there, so he took the catch. So that's the only real bit of action we've had so far this afternoon here. We've had 4 bowlers. We've had Peter, new player for Tynedale, Colin McCabe, David Newton's had a go, and now we're going to see the captain Tom Cant come on from, he's to the left down by the river end from us here as we watch the play from behind deep square leg with the clubhouse to our left, looking across towards the practice nets here. Here's Cant now to Greenwell, and that's outside the off stump, and he watched that one pass to the keeper Crichton for Tynedale, and he took that one about knee height, just above the knee height there. So here's Cant again, back to his mark, bowling to Greenwell. There's Greenwell back in his crease and plays it up square towards the practice nets, and it's Stevenson who fields and throws in to the keeper's end there. Wicket-keeper Jeremy Crichton takes that one down near the ground, and there's been 1 added to the score there. So Greenwell 17 now, and the score goes to 71 for 1 Shotley Bridge. Now Cant comes in again. Milburn this time, forced back under his stumps and just plays it out off the back foot to Parker there in at extra cover, close extra cover. I'll give you the field placings in a moment as Cant is just about to bowl again. Full this time, and Milburn hit it through mid-wicket to our left. Peter picks up and throws in, and Milburn takes a single. He goes to 34 and the score goes to 72 for 1 Shotley Bridge in the 18th. Now here's Cant again now, past the umpire, and Greenwell this time's forward and drives it up towards the score box there. It's McCabe after it, a nice diving stop to his left, and he picks it up and throws it up towards us here to the bowler's end across to our left, and there is a couple of runs there for Greenwell. He's gone to 18, the score goes to 74 for 1 in the 18th, and it's all sunshine, sun cream and drinks today as Cant's in again and bowls, and there's Greenwell. He plays that one, and there's going to be a shot at the bowler's end stumps, and no, Milburn turned around and Cant couldn't just get there. He just missed the stumps. He was down on his knees, and it was all going on there. Milburn was halfway up the pitch until he got the shout from Greenwell no, and he just turned around and scampered back, and a little dive, and Cant took it, but he just couldn't get to the stumps. And I think it may have been Parker or Stevenson who threw that one in there. But that's the end of the 18th. It's 74 for 1 Shotley Bridge, and Milburn 34, Greenwell 18. The man out was Patterson. He went for 12 when the score was at 33. So we've got, who have we got now? We've got David Newton coming on, medium fast. Crichton standing up behind the stumps, one slip in a gully. Here's Newton now. Slow ball down the leg side that time, and Crichton takes the bails off after a little delay. Just watched Milburn's foot there. So we've got a fine leg, a slip, a gully, a point, a cover, a close extra cover, a mid-off, a mid-on, and a square leg. So the big gap between mid-on and square leg here for Milburn to look at. Newton bowls again, and Milburn just pushes this one hard out towards us here, behind extra cover, and it's Parker there who picks that one up and throws it to Dag, who gives the ball a good polish on his right thigh. and now he's just going to pop up a little throw to Newton. And here he goes now, Newton bowling to Milburn. Milburn's back in his crease and just turns that one up towards the score box. McCabe fields now from fine leg, running round to his left, and he throws in, and Milburn gets himself another single. That takes the score to 75 for 1 in the 19th. Milburn goes to 35, and Newton again gets the ball at his end. It's across to our right as well, looking on here. Now he runs in past the umpire, bowling to Greenwell again. Greenwell's forward defending, and there's half a shout from behind the stumps there. An appeal for LBW, but was well forward and may have even got a little inside edge onto it as well. So it's as you were in the field, and Newton back to his mark. Didn't play last week, David Newton. 0 for 57 and 2 for 30 in his bowling analysis from earlier games, but here he is again to Greenwell, who pushes to the leg, and there's a shot at the stumps, and it's going. That was a brilliant save from Dag there. It was a hard throw from Stevenson, and Dag was running round, and he had to change direction in the middle there, and he got half a hand to it, and that definitely saved the ball going from 4 overthrows and the run that obviously went with the shot. So just 1 to the total. 77 for 1 now, Shotley Bridge, and Greenwell on strike is 20 as he faces up to Newton again. Big swing at that one, and the ball, he doesn't time it, and the ball goes to Mannion there at deep mid-on, and there is no run. And that's the end of the over. 19 overs gone now. 77 for 1 Shotley Bridge, under the hot sun here down at the Spa grounds. And as I said, the sun cream's out, the sun chairs are out, the sun cream's on, sun caps, sun hats, and a good number of spectators already made their way down here to the Spa grounds. But here's Tom Cant, the Tynedale captain, over the wicket now to Milburn. Full ball, and Milburn jams the bat down on that one, and it just comes off the edge, and it runs through the first slip area up towards third man, and there's a single run there to Milburn. He's gone to 36. The score goes to 78. Now Cant's back at his mark again. There he goes now. Comes in and bowls. That's a well pitched ball, and Greenwell's just forward that time and pushes it off to the offside, the far side from where we're broadcasting, down behind deep square leg. And Cant picks it up, and he's back at his mark already. A long off and a long on, a deep mid wicket and a deep square leg. And that's just short of a length, and Greenwell rocks back and pushes this one off the back foot up towards the practice nets there, and it's Stevenson up on the deep cover boundary who fields, and there was a single. So 79 for 1, Greenwell goes to 21. Cant again now to Milburn. Good length ball this time, outside the off though, and Milburn just watches it through to the wicketkeeper Crichton, and there was no run. Quickly back to his mark again, Cant. Swings round, here he goes, bowling to Milburn. Fuller ball this time, and Milburn's forward and just defends it. Bat and pad together there, and the ball bobbles up. It was a slightly slower ball there from Cant, give it a bit more air. And Milburn was equal to the task. Here's Cant again now. Swings round, in he winds, past the umpire. And that was a quicker one. A good length, and it forced Milburn back, but he manages to punch it out, a punch shot out to Parker there on the far side at extra cover, and that's the end of the over. 79 for 1 Shotley Bridge, 80 for 1. The scoreboard's just clicked over there, so it's 80 for 1 with that single, and Milburn's 37, and it's Greenwell 21. The man out, Patterson, for 12. We're back in the 5th over now, and when the score was at 33. So 47 from these two senior batsmen for Shotley Bridge, and it's going to be Newton again. So just the one slip, a fine leg, A deepish backward point, a cover, an extra, a mid off, a mid on, a close mid wicket and a square leg. There's Milburn, who just guides a well pitched ball on the stumps there, just opens the face and it runs out to our left, and it's picked up by the sprinting James Rainford there from deep backward point, and they concede a single. Tynedale 81 for 1. Milburn goes to 38. Now it's Greenwell on strike, no change in the field. Here's Newton, David Newton. Milburn's forward defending this time, and the ball just runs out here to the offside towards us, but doesn't get this far. It's Paul Newton, David's brother, who just runs in just in front of the artificial pitch there and picks that one up and resumes his position in at extra cover there. And here's David Newton again now, bowling to Greenwell, who's forward again, and almost a repeat of the shot before, and the ball goes about in the same place and there is no run, so it's still 81 for 1. Greenwell on strike, 21, and it's Milburn at the other end. He's 38, and the spectators on the far side of the ground, 6 of them sitting over there, 7 with the gent on the seat at the practice nets. But there's a sweep shot from Greenwell, and it'll run up to the right of the scoreboard through long leg, and he'll get 4 runs for it. So just drifting offline there, but David Newton, and another 4 goes onto the total. So it's 85 for 1 in the 21st, and Greenwell's gone to 25 with that score, and he's making good his solitary single he got last week in his innings, the Shotley captain. So just 1 last week, 25 so far this week on this hot day down at the Spa grounds. Very little breeze, there's plenty flies buzzing about. The Spa ground sparrows tweeting away in the trees behind us as in goes Newton again. And there's a drive, and it sends Milburn sprawling back to his crease. And I'm not sure whether Newton had a half a hand in stopping that, or Milburn did too, but he didn't half turn on the swivel there and dive ferociously for his crease at this end, no doubt just in case the rebound went under the stumps. Slips come out now, and Kant is sort of a short third man. Newton again now, and that's outside the off stump, pitched on a good length though, but didn't make Greenwell play, and he just watches that one through to Crichton. It goes thump into his gloves, and it's 85 for 1 at the end of the 21st. Milburn 38 and Greenwell 25. So here's Kant, the Tynedale captain, about to bowl again, and he's got 5 out. And 4 inside the circle of his field as he bowls to Milburn, who strikes away hard up towards long on, where Rainford gets down and picks up and throws in to the bowler's end, and it's Milburn who takes a single there. He's gone to 39 and the score goes to 86. Kant again now to Greenwell, who rocks back and just plays this one nicely square up the crease line there, up towards Stevenson, who moves to his left and picks up and throws into the keeper's end, and that's 1 more to the total, 87 for 1. Greenwell to 26. Kant again now, short run. Milburn right back on his stumps that time, and up on his toes rather, and he plays a shot up the crease line there, square on the far side, and it's Mannion there who picks up from deepish backward point. And here's Kant again, back to his mark, just turns again, past the umpire now, bowling to Greenwell. Greenwell comes forward and just moves his left leg out the way a bit to hit that one up to long on again, across to our left, and that's Rainford who picks up again and throws in. And the score goes to 89 and Greenwell to 27. Now here's Kant again, driven this time from Milburn, but that's well stopped from Parker there, got down quickly, and there was no run that time to Shotley Bridge. And here's Cant again, quickly gets the ball back, turns at the end of his run. Cant to Milburn. Cant bowling. Milburn chips to the leg, out towards us and slightly to our left, and Milburn slipped over there as Peter charged in. So there was a chance of 2, but because of Milburn slipping over, they just have to settle for 1, and I hope he hasn't went down kind of heavy there on that left leg, but he seems to be up and about, and that was the end of Cant's over. So the end of that one, Shotley are 90 for 1, Milburn 41 and Greenwell 27. And it'll be Newton to carry on. A little chat going on there between him and his captain Tom Cant, who just puts his hat back on, his cap. And Cant has gone into that second, sort of a deep, short third man. Couldn't call him a slip, he's very deep there. As Newton's in again, and Milburn this time just defends to leg, and the ball just manages to trickle off the pitch. Newton again now, bowling to Milburn. Milburn, he had to jam the bat down on that one. It came quickish and stayed a bit low as well, and the ball scuttles off square onto our side here, the offside, and it's fielded by Rainford, who charges in there from backward point. And there was no run that time, so it's still 90 for 1 as William Dagg just pops up a little catch to David Newton. And here we go. Here's Newton again. Bowls. There's Milburn, who plays this one from the crease, and it hits Greenwell at this end. And there was no run. And the ball, it's retrieved by Paul Newton there, who has a little word to his brother David as he walks back towards the end of his mark. And just looking out to our left here, the clubhouse. Plenty of the Shotley batsmen still to go in, sitting out on the veranda here, on the patio. But here's Newton again to Milburn, and playing a miss outside the off that time. Well pitched there, just outside off stump, and Milburn had a little nibble at it, and Crichton took it well. And Crichton standing up behind the stumps, right behind them here. And it's still 90 for 1. Milburn on strike, 41. And here's David Newton now, bowling to Milburn, who turns this one through mid-wicket, and Stevenson gets a half a hand, but he has to chase it. He'll not stop the 2 there. And he throws in now, and another 2 there to Milburn. He's gone to 43, and the score goes to 90, 2 for 1 in the 23rd over here, of a maximum of 54, Shotley Bridge. Newton again now, bowling to Milburn. Back and a little defensive shot, just opens the face there, and the ball runs out slightly to our left on this near side, and it's Rainford who picks up there at backward point, and he gives the ball a good polish at the end of the 23rd over. Yes, the umpire just called it there, and we're at 92 for 1 Shotley Bridge, Milburn 43 and Greenwell, the captain, 27. And it's Tom Cant to continue here, bowling to Greenwell, who sweeps, and it's high and it's long and it's 6, I think. And yes, the umpire just signals now. It wasn't too far over the boundary, across to our left at mid-wicket. Sam Peter was in underneath it, but it crossed the boundary, so 6 more with that sweep there from Greenwell. And the score's gone to 98 for 1 Shotley Bridge in the 24th, and Greenwell's gone to 33. Cant now winds in again, and Greenwell's forward and just turns to leg, and they're charging, 3 of them after it here. Cant's got it, the bowler, and they've gone for 2 runs there. and that was caused by the fielders deep, and Kant thought he must go after that one himself from the bowling crease, and William Dagg charging and Sam Peter charging in from the leg side boundary here where we're behind. So 2 more, that's the 100 up for Shotley Bridge, 100 for 1 in the 24th. So a good base here for the home side as Kant goes in the bowl now, and there's Greenwell, who pushes to extra cover for 1, and good running there from the 2 of them, and Greenwell just signals for a little drink. It'll be the end of the over now, but he's gone to 36 with that one, and the score's gone to 101 for 1. Now here's Kant again. Milburn this time drives square up towards Stevenson in front of the practice nets. He picks up now and throws into Crichton, and he takes it. Good throw there, right on the stumps, and Crichton throws it back to the bowler Kant. For us to start again in just a moment. And here he is. We're just Greenwell just adjusting something on his hard hat there, and he just turns this one down towards us and slightly to our left, where Dagg picks up at mid-wicket, deep mid-wicket, and there's another run. Greenwell goes to 37, and the score to 103 for 1. Milburn on strike now. 47 last week. Drives out up towards the practice nets, but he'll just get 1 to Stevenson down at deep cover there on the far side. And that's the end of the over, and there's some drinks coming on here, is there, for the batsman. 104 at the end of that one, 104 for 1, Milburn 45, Greenwell 37, and I think there'll be 24 of us gone now, unless that's, I can't quite remember what end we were at there. Yeah, 24 gone, so it'll be Newton to bowl again, coming in. He'll be bowling from right to left as we watch the play here. Once the batsmen have finished having a drink, we'll be back in play here. And Greenwell taking on plenty of water with that one, and now they're on their way back up to the crease there. And just while they do that, we'll put in one of our sponsors here on Cricket West Tyne. It's the Royal Oak Hotel at Cornsay Colliery, and you'll never have to feel hungry again if you are travelling in County Durham this summer. Super Sunday dinners, sumptuous starters and punchy puddings can all be found at the Royal Oak Country Pub at Cornsay Colliery, County Durham. Wash it all down with a variety of beers, wines, spirits and as many soft drinks as you can carry glasses for. It's perfect for the summer, this sporting pub supporting cricket, golf and darts and more. At the bottom of the bank it is at 1 Commercial Street, and it's the place to stop this summer. And you can find them on Facebook or call ahead for details on 0191 373 4224. And if you're travelling with a sat-nav, just type in the postcode DH79BN. And we've restarted here after the drinks break. And here's Newton now, bowling to Milburn. Milburn drives high, I know it's just over backward point there. Stretching up there, Rainford was, and that ball skewed off the edge, and he's got 4 for it, but I think it's his most unpositive 4 in his innings of 49 so far for Milburn. So he's passed last week's score, and he's just got 1 to get till he goes to 50 here for Kieran Milburn, the right-hander. Now here's David Newton again. Milburn tries to sweep away this time, or a low pull shot, a short arm pull, and he doesn't get it right. It hits the top of nearly up to the shoulder of the bat there, and it just squirms off on that far side, and that's Stevenson there who comes in from square leg to pick it up, and there was no run. So I'm looking around the field here, and nobody in shadow at the minute, as In comes Newton again now and bowls. Milburn's forward, and that was a play and a miss, and that couldn't have been very far away from the stumps, and Crichton didn't take it cleanly, but maybe still in shock that must have just passed by an inch or two. So Newton back to his mark quickly. He has the ball now. Mid off and mid on up. A wide mid on there is in goes Newton again now in bowls, and there's Milburn, who plays out on the back foot towards us here, but still he can't get that single because it's straight to Sam Peter in at cover inside the circle there on this near side. And here Newton, Paul Newton it is, just throws the ball back to his brother. David Newton just walking back to the end of his mark as a cabbage white butterfly tootles away off towards the clubhouse. As Newton's in again now and bowls, and there's Milburn, who jams down on a full ball there, and the ball goes out to Parker, who comes to his left there from mid-wicket and picks it up, and that's the end of the over. It's 108 for 1, the end of the 25th, 108 for 1, and Milburn 49 and Greenwell 37, and the last man out was Patterson. He was caught out trying to pull the ball by Dag at mid-wicket, miscued it. He was out for 12 way back in the 5th over when the score was at 33. So here's Cant again now bowling to Greenwell, who's forward and drives, and it comes off the outer half of the bat and whistles across the ground there to Mannion at backward point. So we've no slips. We've got 5 outside the ring, 2 to the off and 3 to the leg this near side of the field. Cant coming in bowling from left to right as we watch the play here. Inside we've got a short fine leg, a short third man, a backward point and an extra cover. There's Greenwell, who just slips himself back and turns this to leg, and he's going to get 1 to Peter, who charges in from the deep mid-wicket boundary across to our left, picks up and throws to Cant the bowler, and there's a 1 run there, and he's gone to 38. 109 for 1 now. Cant to Milburn. Milburn goes down and drives this one hard out towards the scoreboard up there, and it's McCabe who fields, picks up, throws in, and it's Milburn who goes to 50, and the applause there. He's gone to 51, and the score's gone to 111 for 1 Shotley Bridge in the 26th. Now here's Tom Cant again now over the wicket, bowling to Milburn. Full ball this time, and that jammed Milburn back in his crease, and a little plume of dust comes up as he put the bat down under the ball there, and the ball just skews up under that far side, not very far, where Crichton picks it up, and there was no run. So here's Cant with the ball again. He just gets it off Crichton. He's back again now, and he comes, bowls to Milburn. Full ball again, and there's a cross-batted shot, and he's missed it, and Crichton's missed it, and it's gone for 4 byes across to our right up towards the trees, just to the far side of the sight screen there. So 4 more to the total, 115 for 1. Was a little bit full there for Milburn to try and get that ball away across to this side, but here's Cant again now. Bowls again, that's well pitched, and Milburn just watches this one carefully onto the bat, and the ball drops down to this near side where Crichton comes forward and picks it up, and that's the end of the over, and it's 115 for 1 after 26. Milburn 51, Greenwell 38, and it will be Newton to continue from the right hand side here. And he'll be going in from right to left as we watch the play here. And I've just seen Peter Collingwood walking towards us round the boundary here with his sunglasses and shorts on and his flip-flops. But here's David Newton now. He's going to bowl to Greenwell. Greenwell forward, and it strikes the pad, but there is no run. And the score still at 115 for 1. Alright, Peter, not so bad. You did? And here's Newton again now. He's just about to turn. Now he goes in, right arm over the wicket, bowling to Greenwell. Greenwell turns this one up towards the practice nets this time, and it's Stevenson who picks up at square leg, but far enough to his right hand side there to allow a single to Greenwell, and the score goes to 116 for 1 in the 27th this one is, and the scoreboard just clicked over as I was about to say it there. And here we go. Here's Newton again now. He's about to bowl to Milburn this time. Bowls, and there's Milburn who just plays this one, a high elbow there, drives it up to Mannion up on the long on boundary across to the right on the far side, and he throws in, and there's another single to the total. So 117 now for 1. Greenwell on strike, 40. Milburn's gone to 52. And here's Newton again now. He's up there now and bowls to Greenwell. Greenwell's forward defending this time to a well pitched ball there from Newton, and he does his own fielding as well. Here's Newton again now into Greenwell. Bowls. There's Greenwell who drives again up to Dargett long off this time just to ring in the changes. And he throws in to Newton. And the score goes to 118 for 1. So, like the weather, it's the weather for just lazing about on the boundary at the moment. A pint in hand. And at the moment the game just going through the mid-sleepy spell here. And that one got up a bit from Newton. It wasn't all that short. In fact, it was on a good length, and that forced Milburn just to cock his head back there as he defended that one down. But that was the good thing about that shot. He managed to keep it down, and it didn't pop up for the wicketkeeper or anything like that. And that's the end of the 27th over that one, yes. 119 for 1, Milburn 52 and Greenwell 40. And if you're just joining us for our hourly 3 o'clock hourly update here, it's Cantu's just started the new over, and that's turned away down towards us here where Dag fields from deep square leg, and they've got another one there, Shotley Bridge, and Greenwell has. He's gone to 41, and the score goes to 120. So if you're just joining us, you're very welcome at 3 o'clock with Shotley at 120 for 1 in the 28th over, and it's Milburn not out 52, an excellent innings so far from him. Just the one maybe two false strokes in it, and the captain Greenwell on 41. The man out so far is Patterson. He went for 12 when the score was at 33. The wicket went to Sam Peter, the medium fast bowler, seam bowler for Tynedale. It was a miscued pull shot, and Dag caught it there. So welcome to the coverage here on Speaker Internet Radio on the Cricket West Tyne programme, and there might be another 6 again this time, and it's Greenwell who 4, one must have been just one bounce, then another low pull shot, and it went over to our left, and it beat Peter on the boundary again down just beyond the clubhouse there for 4 runs. So the score's gone to 126 for 1, and it's Greenwell who's gone to 45 with that shot. Now he has canned again now, captain to captain, and it's driven this time, and the captain stops that one. The captain can't, dives to his left that time and stops that one. So as Greenwell just snuggles in again. No company apart from Crichton, the wicketkeeper. Cant bowls, and there's a forward shot from Greenwell, and he pushes it square up to Stevenson there, who comes into about 2/3 of the way back to collect that one, and it's Greenwell who gets another run. He's gone to 46. The score goes to 127 for 1. Now Cant has the ball back again just at the end of his run. Turns now when he comes bowling to Milburn this time. Milburn doing the batting, he's forward and defends it square again, and they're going to get another single. Good running here in the heat from these pair for Shotley, and it's Mannion who fields there And that's the end of the over. And has the scoreboard clicked over yet? I think it has. 128 for 1 after 28. It's Milburn is 54, Greenwell 46, and Cant, who it is, who's just finished the over. And Milburn, is he going to get another one? He is. Not Milburn, pardon, he's on strike. It's Newton for Tynedale who's going to get another over here. And he just gets the ball. So he's got 2 deep right behind him, long off, long on. As in he comes again now and bowls. And there's a pull shot, a short arm pull over mid-wicket up towards the practice nets. The ball runs. And another 4 there for Milburn. He goes to 58. And the score goes to 132 for 1. And I've got a feeling this is the 29th. It's been on 27 a long time, that over's on the scoreboard. And it's Milburn on strike, 58. And he'll have another look at Milburn, who's running into bowl now. Just about to bowl. Milburn goes for that swing shot again, and he's missed it. Crichton's missed it, and it's another boundary. 4 byes this time to the total. And it's signalled by the umpire to the scorers, who are in the clubhouse across to our left, the far window. And it's thrown in. That's McCabe who did the gathering there as the ball disappeared down the little bank side amongst the trees across to our left. We've lost the little sparrows chirping away. Oh, there's one. It's just come back as Milburn receives from Newton again now. And he defends this one half forward there, and there is no run. So the score stays there at 135 for 1. And it's Milburn, 58 not out, about to get the ball from Newton again, who's just got the ball. Now he's about to bowl. Newton to Milburn. Bowls. Newton bowls that one, and Milburn's forward and just defends it back to the bowler along the ground, and he picks it up quite nicely there and turns and walks back to his mark now. David Newton going out to our right. Now he'll turn again and he'll run in from right to left. So here he is, Newton running in now, past the umpire, bowling to Milburn. Milburn's forward and plays and misses outside the off that time. And Crichton again didn't take it cleanly, but there was no run conceded, so that's okay for now for the Tynedale side. Out there in the heat, it's the not unlike the conditions at Swalwell earlier in the season, red hot day out there, and it looks like they might be out there for another 50 overs. As in comes Newton again now and bowls to Milburn, who just defends it, and the ball trickles slightly off the pitch to that far side, and it's picked up, and that's the end of Newton's over. So just before, I think we'll leave it there, or we'll have another over. I think it's just 3:05. So if you did join us at 3 o'clock, we've been on the air for our first broadcast since 2:30 here from the Spa grounds on a lovely sunny afternoon. And Shotley Bridge, who it is batting first, and they're 135 for 1. Milburn's not out, 58. Greenwell 46, and the man out so far was Patterson. Court Dag bowled Peter for 12 in the 5th over. So we'll have one more over, and then we'll leave you until 4 o'clock this afternoon, our second broadcast here from the Spa grounds, as Cant just bowls that one up, and it's Greenwell who defends it back to him, and there was no run. So here's Cant again now, coming from left to right as we watch, and it's Greenwell who drives up towards the scoreboard, and it's McCabe who fields at long off and throws in. So just a single to the total there, and it's Greenwell gone to 47, and the score's gone to 136 for 1. Now here's Cant again, bowls. That forced Milburn back, and he cuts it. Just a late cut there, and it goes to Paul Newton, who's at short third man, across to our right hand side. We're down behind the deep backward square boundary, broadcasting this afternoon, and here's Cant again now. Milburn defends this one back to Cant again, who picks it up and gives the ball a little polish and wanders back to his mark. And just turns again now. Here he comes. He's going to bowl to Kevin Milburn, 58 not out. Bowls fuller this time, and that one has Milburn coming forward. Going forward I should say, and defends it out to Parker there at extra cover. Quite deep on the edge of the 30-yard circle there. And the ball went a little quick to him there for the single. Canned again now to Milburn, who's forced back again. And just defends it down and doesn't get halfway back to the bowler. But that's the end of the over, the end of the 30th over there. So 20 more overs in this first innings. Shotley Bridge put into bat 136 for 1. Milburn 58 not out. And Greenwell 47 not out. The man out was Patterson for 12 in the 5th over when the score was at 33. And this is where I'll leave you for our first broadcast this afternoon here from the Spa grounds. But do, if you've been listening or if you're out there and you know about the commentary, do join us again at 4 o'clock where we'll pick up this match from whatever situation it's in. Just before the tea break is the most likely scenario. But just as I leave you, there's going to be another change of bowling for Tynedale. McCabe's coming back for his second spell. He's replacing David Newton. Sam Peter has the wicket so far. So until 4 o'clock, Shotley Bridge 136 for 1. Milburn 58 and Greenwell 47. I'll speak to you again at 4 o'clock.